So this is Ian McTavish from Huntsville High School, Hoya Robotics, and this is the third in our series of tutorials about setting up paper forms for Google Sheets. Now, a couple background, there are situations where you need a paper copy of the form, and the goal is to be able to collect the data using a Google form nice and easily, and then being able to use that data to generate a paper copy very quickly with very little time spent on it. You spend the time up front, and then once you've got it done, it makes it easy. Please note that this is just an example. I was trying to figure out a good example, and credit assessment seemed one of them. So all the data here is not my data, not our school data. It's just an example. So one of the key things is that once we've pulled a student from our list, and we need to be able to fill in different pieces of information. So one of the things was the course code. And if I look at the way the data is structured, and I'm just going to jump back to the form. With the form, you can see there's the questions. And the key thing is the question that you're going to be able to pull data from is going to be the name of the student in this situation. This thing should be the very first thing that is entered. And to be honest, I would always have something like a student number as the very first thing, simply because you might have two students with the same name, and this will help prevent confusion with that. So anyways, we've got the name of the student, and then we've got our responses and everything, and that is generated into a spreadsheet. So here's the spreadsheet, and there's my column C, name of the student, and this is the column that I want, the course code. So what I'm going to do is in my thing, I'm going to click where I want the course code, and I'm going to type equals VLOOKUP, and VLOOKUP allows me to look up data. So the search key is going to be the name of the student. So I can just click that cell and type a comma. And now I'm going to set $signs in here because I'm going to copy this formula for other things, and it will always refer to that particular cell, so I don't have to do the legwork of changing that every time. The $signs locks it so that it doesn't change it relative to where I am on the sheet. So the range, I'm going to go back to my form responses, and I'm going to highlight my range of answers, and I would highlight all of them so that I can reuse this form nice and easily. I just realized I started typing and didn't. So the range, there we go. So there's my range of answers. Obviously, I'd fill out the rest of that, but I'm not going to bother. And then the index. So the index is which column that is in relation. So the student is 1, and the course code is 2. And you'll notice they give you some feedback here. So the first column in the range is numbered 1, so I can go 1, 2, so I'm going to enter 2 for that. And obviously I would change that based on which piece of information I want. And then the last thing, I should always put in the word false. False in capital letters. And what that is that it tells me that this information is not sorted. So it's going to go and find the very first time. So if you have to do this for students with multiple failures, you'll need to come up with another plan for that. And basically I do that by combining the data and looking for their name. I had a column where I combined their name and the course code so that way I can search based on that information. So there we go. That pulls the course code. If I click my drop down and change my student, it automatically adjusts to find the student with that course code. And as I mentioned, you have to plan if you're going to have a student with multiple courses, you're going to have to figure that out. But there are strategies. And that works out really well. And if I wanted some other piece of information, I can just change the number, and that will give me the next column piece of data. So that's how you can take advantage of that. The VLOOKUP, that's what you're looking for. Hope that helps.